Okay, this is a quick tutorial how to use PhotoPea. We're going to start off with the three simple tools: the spot healing tool, the clone tool, and the Liquify filter tool. So the first thing to do is to go to photopea.com, and you should see the screen similar to this. You'll then need to create an account, but the account's very easy to use. You don't have to pay for it. Click the account button at the top and then click login. Okay, so now we've got PhotoPea opened. I'm going to open an image from File, Open. If I've got an image already saved on my computer, I've got this picture of the man on the mountain. That should open there. Now down the left hand side you can see the basic tools that we're going to look at. The first one we're going to use is this one here. It looks like a little sticking plaster. It's called a spot healing brush. And what this will do is to try and remove a part of the image but blend it in so that it just doesn't leave a big gap. So for example, if I just use the rubber and try and rub them out, I'm left with an empty image. Okay, Control Z will undo that. But if I use the spot healing tool, I can set the brush size to about 15 pixels and then rub over it like this. It will try to blend the image in. So it's trying to match the background. That's called content aware. So it will actually remove the image but then try and fill in the gap with what it thinks should be there. And it usually does a pretty good job of actually removing part of an image and filling it in. Okay, the second tool we're going to look at is the clone tool. Now the clone tool is really useful for copying parts of an image. This tool here that looks like a stamp. Click clone tool, and there's two things you have to do with the clone tool. First you have to tell PhotoPea which part of the image you want to copy, and then you just tell it where to copy it to. So when I press the Alt key on the keyboard, my cursor changes to a cross. So I'm going to move it over the guy's head, press Alt, click it, and then move over, and you'll see my cursor has changed to the image. Now when I start to paint by clicking with the mouse, it's now actually copying part of the image. So I can clone that image completely. Okay, now you'll see that round the edges of the man it's copied the background as well. So this is where you can use the spot healing tool again to try and blend that background in so that it doesn't look like it's just been copied from somewhere else. Like that. So that's just removed or blended in that copy a bit easier. So it looks a bit more like it's actually meant to be there. And finally the last tool we're going to look at, it's not really a tool, it's actually called a filter. So on the filters menu, I'm going to click Liquify and change the brush size. I can use the square bracket tool on the keyboard to adjust the cursor size. And Liquify, actually, if you imagine turning the image to liquid, and you can just stretch it a bit. So it liquefies the image, and then you can move things around, just squidge them around a bit to change the shape. There's different types of liquify here. There's a blow and a shrink. So shrink will shrink it and blow will enlarge it. So if I click there, I should be able to click here and then enlarge that area. So that's the Liquify tool. And obviously close it when you finish, click OK. That's now saved the image, and if you want to save it, you can save as a PSD file, which will open in Photoshop, or you can export it, which will export as a PNG, JPEG, GIF. Or there's even more different options of images that you can save it as. And that's basically PhotoPea. We'll be doing more tutorials about looking at the rest of the tools down here.